Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com, and this will be the weekly review of the Power Profit Scan newsletter, which is a part of the Inner Circle subscription that I offer at the site. And as you'll see, it's a newsletter. Now, before I get started, although now that I think about it, I probably don't need to make this disclosure, but I'll make it anyways. But I am not trying to imply that every single alert you see or that I send out is a massive winner and that money just rains from the sky. Nobody is perfect. No scanner is perfect. No trader is perfect. And sometimes just weeks like you're about to see actually happen. So if anything, my disclosure is here. I am being totally transparent, and I'm not trying to mislead anybody into thinking, hey, if you sign up for the Surface, you're just going to make money hand over fist every single week. Because, yeah, like you're about to see weeks like this happen. But from a very practical, from a very quote-unquote real-life perspective of trading, hopefully this can not only just kind of give you an idea about the service, but also just show you that, if you're experiencing one of these sorts of weeks or whatever, that's fine. It happens. It happens to everybody. Now, whether or not somebody on the internet is going to tell you that it happens, that's another discussion. But it doesn't make you a bad trader. It just makes you a trader. And that's just how things play out. So you'll see what I mean by this. I mean, it's not like it was a disastrous week or anything like that. It just was especially if you watch any of the past videos. I don't know. I've lost track, but I think for at least the past 3 or 4 weeks, there have been several 50% or more winning opportunities. But here's a spoiler alert: there are not going to be any 50% moves in this one. But like I said, you can have we've been on a really good streak of solid opportunities. But things kind of fizzled out here. But again, I bad from a marketing perspective, yes, if this is the only video you've ever seen of the weekly reviews, but very good from a learning opportunity perspective, which is also what I try to do with these videos. And then also we're going to be going back as far as the newsletters are concerned. So you see the newsletters over here, and we'll be going back to the week of June 24th. Clay, why are you going so far back? 2 reasons. First off, it's just a matter of giving the chart plenty of time to play out so we see what happens. And then next, it's a matter of being fair. And the last thing I would want is for somebody to pay to become a member and then all of a sudden see what they paid for out there for free. So for those 2 reasons, that's why we're going back several weeks in a time. So let's get to it. Few questions that I always get. Hey, Clay, what price range do you cover? I cover all the price range across the board from penny stocks up to stocks over $100. I care about odds. I care about probabilities that the trade is going to work for our success. And while I do factor in prices a little bit, I don't pigeonhole, I don't corner myself into saying I'm only going to do stocks that are $10 or less or $10 or more. I care about the chart setup and the odds, so I go prices all over the place. Second, when do you send these out, Clay? I send them out every weekend, so that way you have plenty of time to look over this, and it's not a matter of, I got a text alert, I got to go make. No. There's no rash decisions. There's no quick decisions that are made. You can go at your own pace. So for the first one here, ATRA and question the bounce, that had a nice little pattern here. Call that a falling wedge if you wanted to. And the question really became, hey, is there going to be some sort of bounce, maybe not only up to the trend line, but potentially get the break through it? So let's see how it turned out. So here's the alert, like I said, going into the weekend, and we'll see how it played out. So right there, opportunity for people to maybe get in for the trend line bounce, as I alluded to, and then there just was no trend line bounce. But here's the thing I want to pay attention. So this was, this would have been a losing trade, a losing alert. But let's just keep in mind and keep it disciplined, meaning you realize it's not bouncing. I'm just getting out controlled loss. Or look at it as, okay, I'm going to be undisciplined. I'm not going to sell. I'm not going to honor the rules. And you can see now this thing has just drifted further and further downwards and even lower and even lower. And that's where it stands right now, potentially even going lower than that. So think about it. You could have been disciplined and gotten out right up around there, or you could still be holding because you're stubborn and, hold and hope. And now the price is all the way down there. So if anything, that's the power. That's the need to be disciplined and honor those stop losses, because you never know if a rule break all of a sudden has you at a much worse situation than just quickly taking the loss and moving on to something else. So yeah, a losing trade, but a good example of why risk management and being disciplined really does make a big difference. Now, we were just looking at a $20 stock, and I bring that up because now we're looking at a stock that's down below $10. So AGXT was a ticker symbol, and looking for it to pull back. So as I alluded to here, told people don't chase, let the price pull back. and the level that I had mapped out around $5.50. So let's see how this all played out. So here's the alert. And right there was a pullback. Now it just becomes a matter of, is it going to pull back? So hovers down around there, and it did indeed pull back. The problem is that it eventually made the move, a very nice move back upwards. But you can see just it never pulled back enough as far as what I had mapped out. Now, if I wanted to manipulate the numbers, sure, I could have say, well, yeah, see, it pulled back, and yeah, you could have gotten in right here, and then I could, like I said, could have manipulated it, sure. But I mean, let's be honest, I had quite specifically marked out this 550-ish area. And yeah, the price never quite got down there. So it's a situation where not a losing trade, but just one where you never got filled, and then the price went in your favor, and just kind of a frustrating type trade. But it happens. Doesn't make you a bad trader. It happens that, it's just part of trading. It happens. And yeah, kind of disappointing. Trust me, I would love to say, well, yeah, you could have gotten in up here, and see, you could have had a huge move. But like I said, to be transparent, to be honest, that's not what I had marked out there, and it's just didn't pull back enough. It did pull back, sure, but not enough. And sometimes, quote unquote, not enough happens as traders, and you don't get in the position, and then it goes in what you thought it would have done. You thought it was going to go back up, and it did go back up. Problem is, just didn't fill me. So again, there is no play here, so not a winning trade, not a losing play, just a no play. But like I said, from the educational standpoint, really goes to show that, hey, you know what? Sometimes things like this happen. A next alert here was for CLVS. And this one I opened up for flexibility. I don't always do the shorts as far as the charts, but this one was pretty kind of in your face in terms of, well, you can really do either one. So as I mapped out here with the red, that was the breakout point if you're looking to potentially play a breakout from the long side. Or if you're looking to go short, if you're not familiar with short, that means you make money when prices go down. So if you're looking to make money when prices go down, then if the price broke below that green line there at right around 14, that would be the breakdown point. So mapped out a couple different areas for to open up the flexibility for people to either make money going from prices going up or down. So let's see how this one played out. So here's the chart going in. So now we're looking at a stock right around $15. So we've looked at something in the 20s, something down below 10. Now we're looking at a $15 stock. So let's see how it played out. And you can see did not waste any time on that first day of the week, came down there, broke that level. So again, remember, from the short side, if you're a little bit newer, you want to see prices go down. That's how you make money. So let's see how this one played out. Pulled back more, and then it bounced back up. But that move right there was good for 10.2%. But this also just illustrates another point of kind of just summarizes the week. So, got a winning trade. So by no means was that a losing trade. A nice little solid move, especially in the amount of time it happened. I mean, you're not going to get 10% at your local bank. They'll give you a bank CD that'll give you like 2% for 6 months, but you're not going to get 10% in, about 3 days there. But point here is this. So it bounces back up, and that would have stopped out most people. So it would have taken you out of the trade. And then all of a sudden it rolls back over, and down, down it goes. And down it goes even more, all the way down there. Like I said, if I wanted to, could I try to manipulate and say, oh yeah, this move here, just ignore that. But in all honesty, that would have taken out, people that should have really taken you out, because that was a pretty big bounce from the short side. You'd want to have gotten out and all that. But have you been there before where you get in, and don't get me wrong, this was a winning trade. And it's a winning trade, and you're like, okay, good. And then all of a sudden, oh, wow, look at it now. I mean, have you been there before? If you have, you're not alone. It happens. That's just part of being a trader. Doesn't make you a bad trader, but, in the world of disciplined trading, that's what happens right there. And a disciplined trader, would have gotten out for that move right there, because that was a pretty big move, especially after it had already gone 10% in your favor. I mean, why wouldn't you have, gotten stopped out or, just had to, exit the trade? Now, sure, could you have gotten in up there? Yeah, you definitely could have. But like I said, as far as the spirit of the alert is concerned, that is one that would have taken you out, and then just totally rolls right back over. So a winning trade, but just a tad bit too soon to the party. And then a final few examples here, and this is the part of the newsletter where there's no actual charts, there's no annotations, because these are people that have gone through the class, and I offer a shorting for profit class. So for these, it's just a matter of, hey, check out the chart, and then because the people have gone through the class, they have the full knowledge to apply what they've learned to identify these. And I just want to, point out a few of these just to kind of really illustrate again how the week pretty much went. So let's first take a look at LOW. Once more, as a reminder, this is short, so we want to see prices go down. So right there was the beginning of the week, and you can see right there, awesome. The price went down, and the price went down. Great. So, I mean, winning trade right there. It was a winning trade. The price dropped quite a bit right there, especially if you trade options. But then that was it, and up it went. Trade over. So, yes, it was a winning trade, but by no means was it some sort of gigantic, massive winner or anything like that. But again, a winning trade, but just nothing huge, nothing big. But, it happens. It is what it is. And then the final one we'll look at here is CSX. So again, we want to see the prices going down. So here was the chart, and let's see what happens. And right there, starts to drop. That's great. Starts to drop even more. Fantastic. Is this going to be the start of a total collapse? Nope. Right back up it goes. So again, situation where, yeah, that would have taken you out. And then, of course, goes back up even more and then totally collapses down in there. So again, it was a winning trade. Don't get me wrong. It went down, but just didn't really turn into anything that much bigger. So a winning trade, but just not any sort of follow through really on the entire week. So yeah, there was a couple small losing trades, but which goes back to illustrating the point of being disciplined. And there were winning trades, but just nothing could get any sort of momentum. Nothing could get any sort of push through with it. And but like I said, I keep saying it, but it is what it is. And what it is just a realistic look at. Sometimes you'll have these sorts of weeks. This probably sounds goofy because why would I want to sign up for that? It was terrible results. All I'd say is that's a fair point, but go back and watch the other videos that are part of this playlist as far as the weekly reviews, and you've seen we've really been on a good streak of some big winners. But like I said, sometimes things like this happen. But if you are interested, then you can go to claytrader.com/team. And the other thing besides the live newsletter or the newsletters is there is a chat room and a live chat room. So that always helps balance the rougher weeks like this. I know we had, because every week we have some good alerts in the live chat room. But if you are interested, you can learn more about the community right there. And again, there is a mobile app too that comes with it, so it's not like you have to change your computer or anything like that. But overall, been around since 2013. So I mean, it's a community that's not like a fly-by-night one where you sign up and then all of a sudden it's gone tomorrow. Nothing like that. We've been around for, like I said, since 2013. Time flies, and the community has only gotten better and stronger. So I'd encourage you to check it out, and let me know if you have any questions. And take care, and I'll see you back next week.